Welcome, one and all, to World in a Jar. We are your hosts, Kyoko and Vale. Our goal is to take a word, concept, or idea and spin it into a story. Be it a character, NPC, group, city, you name it. And thus, those ideas we create become our World in a Jar. Of course, they won't all fit in the same jar, so our selection is constantly growing each week. With many spices to choose from, locations, genres, heroes, villains, and tropes, we hope to give you a jar filled with fun and interesting concepts. But first, how you doing, Vale?
I'm doing good. I woke up at 11:30 and I woke up refreshed.
Nice. I also woke up late today.
I am a strong proponent
also,
of waking
hello,
up late.
World in a Jar viewers. It's been so long.
Yeah. We are all prone to technical difficulties, and so I appreciate you guys bearing with us. We're trying our best to make sure we're recording regularly. But we're humans too. We have life in the way. Until we open up the Patreon and make millions of dollars and can sustain ourselves with this podcast.
Let's go. Yeah, the viewers haven't seen my mug in like a month.
Oh, my mug's upstairs. I put it in the
Last
dishwasher.
episode I was in, it was the beginning of... Huh?
My mug's upstairs. I put it in the dishwasher.
Oh! My mug is in the kitchen. But they haven't seen my face in like a month.
Oh, that's what you...
That was...
Neurodivergent moment. I'm like, oh yeah, the mugs that we always rock. I didn't think you meant mug as in face.
I love it. Felix. Okay, no. You're gonna try to put holes in my leggings, you get to be on camera. Come here. But, yeah. What are we doing today, Vale?
We are doing something I affectionately call the lightning round. So, not all of us have oodles of time to create characters and worlds and campaigns, but it is important to understand the method of making characters and NPCs on a time crunch. Sometimes that time crunch is even, oh god, I just made the players asked me about a character in session. I need to think about this guy immediately.
Me with Frank and Frank.
Frank Frankman and Frank Frankman.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna go off to have their own legends.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, there are definitely times when, like, as a DM or even as a player, you have to come up with multiple different character aspects. Like, sometimes on the spot, sometimes within a set time limit, things like that. And that can get kind of difficult. Especially if you're not one that's very, like, improv inclined and things like that.
See, if I have time to think about something, I will think about every aspect of something. But I also know I don't have all the time in the world. I do try to be good at improv and try and leave stuff up for improv. But I'm like, I really don't know what I want to do, so it's not a today Vale problem, it's a session Vale problem.
Oh yeah, that's an in-the-moment Vale problem.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Oh yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
And if I'm lucky, like, the players will take so long in the session that something will come up and it'll give me an idea, and I won't even have to do that thing I've been dreading until the next session anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, for me, I'm not the best at improv. Mostly because I have a hard time getting thoughts from my head out of my mouth. unless it's very, like, an impulsive thought or something like that. But I mean, like, the past 2 sessions I've ran have been off the seat of my pants. And they were fine.
They were fine. Fine isn't good, not fine isn't, oh, that's
And, like,
mad.
when it comes to me...
I hate that fine as a word
it's like,
has
oh,
two meanings.
it was okay. I know, right? I hate the English language. But, like, for me, when it comes to character creation, especially if it's, like, if I have time, I take the time to build out the character's personality and try to think about who I want them to be as a person and where I can see their story sort of going. I always like to give them character flaws to start out with and then see, like, try to imagine where those character flaws can go and how this character can grow. And that means basically each character I play gets a little part of me in them, because I'm just like, oh, what are my character flaws? What can I give somebody?
Right.
Like, Mithra was really, like, she sort of had, like, self-confidence issues and then also family issues, and I'm just like, yeah, that's me. Felix, you just put so many holes in my leggings! Sorry. And then, like, Estelle is really vain and she can get kind of cocky and egotistical, and I'm like, that was definitely me in high school and still sort of me now, so...
I mean,
yeah,
ego isn't entirely
Aster is
bad.
perfect.
It's just too much ego, which I
Yeah,
think we're gonna explore
absolutely.
with Estelle.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Felix just put 6 holes in my leggings. Felix
he's the one with the
wants attention.
with the upset tummy, right?
My boy that had to go to the emergency vet on Sunday. He's okay now.
Poor baby.
Ah, Felix.
Poor legging hole making baby.
Exactly. He does that with all of my clothes. He doesn't know how to not use his claws for things. Come on, Felix. Come on. Get on the chair, fat boy. Come on. You weigh 15 pounds. But yeah, when you make characters, like, if you have the time, how do you typically do it?
Like, characters or NPCs?
Let's say characters for now.
So, the characters I want... So, I'm a very crunchy player. I want to figure out, like, how the character works in combat. And then I'm like, man, another paladin multi-class with a full caster. What is this paladin gonna do? And then I divine character traits based off their build, and then develop, like, a further character. Like True Love, I wanted to play a paladin bard because everyone talks about, like, paladin sorcerer, paladin warlock, and I'm like, what about a bard?
Yeah.
And so I designed the paladin bard, which was kind of sub-optimally created on True Love's first contact, where they weren't... I think the best way to do paladin bard is to take paladin to 5 or 6 and then start leveling bard.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, my previous character just died, and he was an entertainer, so maybe this bard is his stalker. And so True Love comes in with just, like, big, hopeless, romantic energy, but not like stalker, like that husband, or like that hell of a boss guy, just like, he is my one true love and I've come to rescue him.
Yeah.
And I also, like, I need to know what world they're in before I settle on, like, a huge character concept. Like, when a DM says homebrew world, I want to know about the gods in case I want to play a cleric or a paladin.
Yeah.
But
See, it's easy for me. I just play a bard everywhere, and all of my bards can be put in any situation. in any world.
Chris, edit in the flex tape guy slapping the flex tape on the water tank and have the flex tape read Bard.
Oh, absolutely. Chris, superimpose my head onto the flex tape guy. So it's me slapping the tape on the tank.
While they're saying this, so the head is talking.
Absolutely. Just turn me into a Muppet, Chris. I'm already the same color as Elmo, it's fine. My hair is, at least.
But yeah, how do you divine your characters if you have time?
Yeah, so like, if I have time, characters are definitely built like, I start out with the personality traits. I don't really care about the world that they're in until we actually like start the campaign, or we have like a session 0 or something. Or when it comes to like backstory building. My philosophy with characters is they have to feel like a real person for me. Not that I like overly flesh out my characters or anything, but they have to have they have to feel like they have like a heart to them. And like I said, I put like a piece of myself basically in every single character I play, so the more personified this character is, the closer of a connection I feel to them, which makes it easier for me to play the character. It makes it easier for me to really get into the role of this character and take on who they are as a person, instead of just it being me being a character.
Yeah. I mean, I realize after saying I build the crunch before the character, that there's a lot of my favorite characters that I built the character before the crunch. Like Ivor, the concept was criminal wizard, and I didn't even really care about what spells he had or anything. I was just like, how do I make
until
wizard?
I gave you the 600 gold. Until I gave you 600 gold to buy whatever spells you want.
And then Ivor became a master budgeter to purchase all the spells he needed. Except Fireball.
He's like, oh shit, I have to build an entire spell book again.
I have to build the spell book from scratch.
At least he knows how to read and write.
Oh yeah, he's got 20 intelligence.
I was about to say, as a wizard, he better know how to read and write.
That was one of the tenets of like 4th edition that I thought was really cool, where you could take ritual casting as a feat if you were trained in Arcana or Religion, and then a lot of classes centered around rituals also had ritual casting innately. And one of the things they talked about in the ritual section is that your ritual book doesn't have to be a book. Some people portray rituals based on like knots tied in a specific way, and a ritual book could be whatever you can imagine. And I think that might be a cool avenue to explore with a wizard too, is a book that's not a book. Or a spell book.
I mean, there's also like nothing really saying that it has to be like, you know, a like novel type book with a lot of writing. It could be a picture book.
Well, I do for a spell book.
It could be a manga.
It could be. Yeah.
It could be a manga.
I cast my spells out of the Dungeon Meshi manga.
Oh my god.
I cast create.
I cast
food and
my
water.
spells out of volume 6 of Naruto. What the hell was volume 6? Either way, while I Google that, what we're gonna do today, like Vale said, is we're going to do a lightning round, or well, a couple of lightning rounds of building characters. So we're each going to have 3 minutes after we get our 2 words to build a character off of them. My idea is we pick class, maybe subclass, and then tiny little bit of backstory. But we only have 3 minutes. And then we will stop the timer, or the timer will stop itself, and then we will do the same thing with the trope. We will take the trope, and then the timer will start, and then we have 3 minutes to apply that trope to our characters.
And for those playing at home, you have 3 minutes to divine a character based on the words grudge and collar and the trope the xenophile, which is a trope based on people who want to befriend aliens. So yeah, three minutes per section: grudge, collar, and xenophile.
Yeah.
But
apparently Volume 6 of Naruto was Sakura versus Ino, which is a great fight.
Ino was the
but yeah.
What was? Man, I forgot so much of Naruto. Ino was the like. Oh no, I'm thinking of Neji. Never mind, I don't remember Ino.
That's my boy.
Neji was pretty great.
That's my boy. I'm holding up his Nendoroid right now. Ino is the blonde one with like the mind swapping power.
Oh yeah.
From the Yamanaka clan. But this episode isn't about Naruto. We'll get into Kyoko talks about Naruto later.
But yeah, let's do the
All
coin
right.
flip.
Yeah, would you like heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails. I go first.
All right. Your words are scrap and tumble. 3 minutes begin.
All right, scrap and tumble, so that immediately makes me think either College of Creation Bard, because that is essentially Bartificer before Artificer actually like became a thing. And then tumble makes me think of like, you could have like a gymnast, or you could have even like, if you didn't want to do Bard, you could have like Artificer Fighter. For those of you at home that think I'm talking too fast, just slow down the video speed. I'm a very fast talker when I'm on a time crunch, so just slow down the video speed. But I think I'm gonna go with College of Creation Bard, because that in itself is just like really fun, and I like making bards. So this character, I would say they are a gymnast of some sort. Maybe they are part of like a circus or something, or they did like competitive gymnastics or something like that. But there was something like, maybe they had like a career-ending injury or something like that, because that happens in gymnastics, unfortunately, all the time. Like, a gymnast's coach will push them too hard to do a trick that they can't 100% safely do, and then they land it in competition, and it ends their career because they break something or something like that. So I would say, after they have this, like, career-ending performance or whatever, this career-ending injury, they're like, I need to find a new purpose in my life. I need to find a new way to really, like, you know, channel my magic and things like that, because I can't do it through my gymnastics anymore, at least not safely. While I'm recovering from this injury. So they get into like tinkering and things like that. Maybe they have like a friend or a mentor or a parent or guardian that is an artificer, and they sort of take this this bard that's lost their spark under their wing and teaches them sort of like the basics of
1 minute.
Like artificer magic and tinkering and things like that, and that really comes through with like the animating performance, because you can make like, you know, the dancing item and things like that. So this bard ends up finding a new like lease on life, essentially, through their like artificer light sort of powers and things like that. And maybe that leads them to making like a mobility aid or things like that that they could use if that injury has affected their mobility in any way. So it could add a lot of like representation, or even representations of like accessibility and things like that in like your world. And I am done with 8 seconds left on the timer.
I forgot, like, I think you said you were gonna time it, and then I'm like, begin, and I'm like, wait, what if they're not timing it? So I whipped out my timer too.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no, I had the timer on my phone.
All right.
Let me... College of Creation Bard.
Well, I don't think we have to take notes necessarily because it's a lightning round. We'll go character trope, and then maybe I'll do character trope, and then after the break we'll do a couple more.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good, because I was going to say I'm writing it down because I know I will not remember.
All right, you ready for your trope?
What? Yes.
The trope is gigantic adults, tiny babies. When a very large creature such as a kaiju first appears in fiction, it's usually alone and menacing for its sheer size, even if it's not ferocious. If it acquires offspring, or is shown in a flashback as an infant, the image of baby creatures invariably differs. Unable to loom like an adult, the juvenile's depiction will become cute and cuddly if it's friendly, or fast-moving and in-your-face if it still wants to eat you. Either way, this transition from towering bulk to close contact is facilitated by making the subadult creature much, much smaller than its parent or adult self. So think about Game of Thrones, how the dragons were about as big as Daenerys' head when they first hatched, and then she was about as big as their head towards the end of the show. Or like in the old Godzilla movies with like baby Godzilla being roughly person-sized. And that's the rundown of the trope. 3 minutes.
All right, I have started the timer. So, applying this to my bard, the only thing that really comes to mind is they're taken in by like as a child. They don't have parents that are the same race as they are. Like maybe they were like abandoned as a kid, something like that. Because my brain is just like, how do I apply this to like a bard? How do I apply this to a character that I imagine being like distinctly humanoid, and put them with creatures that are significantly larger than they are?
I mean, it could be something they created as well.
It could be. It could be. God, I'm just watching the timer go down. Yeah, it could. I would say, yeah, like, I do like the avenue of it's something that they built, or it's something that they were, like, assisted with building. Like, let's say that their friend was the artificer or something like that, instead of, like, a parent or guardian. And this artificer built them, or helped them build these, like, you know, really big robots, like the Iron Giant or something. To help them, like, navigate the world, get through life, things like that, act as protection while this bard, like, got their, like, bardic magic back under their belt, and things like that. Especially because I imagine this bard having to, like, you know, change colleges and stuff like that, which is a long and arduous process depending on what level you are as a bard. So maybe this bard, even like in their adulthood, just has like this Iron Giant type, like this Iron Giant type machine, or even like, because Totoro's huge, especially when looking at like the size of the kids. Totoro's huge. Right. Like you have something like that acting as like a protector or something. And then if you wanted to bring even more tragedy to this bard, you can have it be so that protector breaks, or some shit like that, and they have to go out adventuring for parts to fix them or something like that, or go out adventuring to figure out, like, more types of, like, deeper artificer magic, almost leaning into, like, multi-classing an artificer.
Or even
to fix the one guardian that they have, their actual protector.
Or even when it breaks, salvaging what parts they can, and now it's a baby again, like Groot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, there's...
since I can't think of anything else, that's 11 seconds left on the timer.
Yeah, there was a couple good avenues for that.
Yeah, especially since I'm not really familiar with gigantic adults, tiny babies in media.
That was kind of a wrench in the gears there.
Yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones. I'm gonna say it. I've never seen a Godzilla movie.
You've never seen?
Um,
I haven't seen any of the recent ones, but we did turn on the TV a couple weeks ago, and there was a run of like every Godzilla movie in order. Like we watched like the whole Mecha Godzilla arc.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I've never seen a Godzilla movie. My brain immediately, when you said gigantic adults, tiny babies, my brain was like, Jurassic Park? Does that happen in Jurassic Park?
I mean, like, maybe even think about like
I've never seen the original Jurassic Park
like think about Pokemon that start as babies and then become like these massive creatures.
Oh, you're right. Like, you have tiny little Larvitar, and then Tyranitar can be like kaiju size, even though its actual height in the Pokedex is like only 6.
See, that's what pisses me off about all my favorite kaiju Pokemon. It's like Nidoking is shorter than the trainer, who is like 5 feet tall.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not actually kaiju.
Nidoking's a little. Dare I say, Nidoking is a manlet.
He's a little baby.
And
Tiny little baby.
It's my second favorite Pokemon of all time. Okay, maybe third.
Garchomp's only 6'3".
At least it's taller than me, though. I'm 6'1".
Almost every Pokemon is taller than I.
I have to look up.
Not Lucario.
Lucario's not taller than you?
Lucario's only 3'11". Lucario's a whole foot shorter than I am. There's a lot of Pokemon that are only 3'11". There are so many Pokemon. But either way, it's your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. So, let's generate some random words. You got the timer, right?
Yeah.
My words are one of these words is kind of Estelle. There's bubble and relevance.
All right. Bubble and relevance. Your time starts now.
I'm thinking this is a sea elf of some kind. I want to think more like an NPC than a PC, so I'm thinking this is some famous sea elf performer. Maybe not necessarily a bard. Man, I hate to do 2 bards in one episode. Contribute to 2 bards in one episode.
It's another bard episode.
They gotta be a bard because they've got to know prestidigitation, because in their act they conjure these like bubbles that augment and provide flair to their performance. That will burst in these beautiful like firework like displays of color and whatnot. Their quest is to remain relevant. Oh, how about like, but then it's like Estelle's mom. I was like, how about Bard Warlock and their patron feeds on their cultural relevance? And I'm like, wait, that's just...
You could do Bard Wild Magic Sorcerer, and they just have a habit of getting the wild magic that makes pink bubbles come out of their mouth when they talk.
It's like they're backstage casting spell after spell until they get that one random effect, and keep in mind sometimes they blow up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just cast Fireball centered on yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
130 left.
Ooh, what if they're like a triple class Bard Sorcerer with 1 level in Warlock, where the Warlock patron, as long as they are like, as long as the Warlock patron is directly promoted, almost like a salesman, like a celebrity advertisement, the patron allows this Bard Sorcerer control over their wild magic, so that way they will know when they're about to hit a wild magic surge and choose which surge it is. So that could be potentially very powerful, but they're not really adventuring. They're a pop star. They're a pop star and celebrity. And I think the trope I'll save to like create a quest with this character for the PCs.
Yeah. You still have 30 seconds left if you want to add anything else.
I think that was enough.
All right. So you finished that round with just about 30 seconds left.
Oh, this is an interesting trope. The trope, because we mentioned him being a sea elf, is amphibious automobile. In real life, cars tend to sink in water. This, however, can be averted in fiction and in real life. The trope applies whether a normal car can inexplicably float or work as a submarine, or a modified car can do this more realistically. These can overlap with cool car, alleged car, and what a piece of junk. So, I think I know where I'm going with this. Go ahead and start the timer.
All right, timer starts.
So the sea elf, one of their promotions was for this like a luxury Lamborghini that can travel land, sea, and sky.
Ooh.
So it was an amphibious automobile, but I think the people that purchased this car had a tragic accident where maybe they like submerged with the windows down or something, or maybe someone or something.
Like idiots.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to leave the window open when you're submerging. That's how you drown. But like
exactly.
Or otherwise, someone had stolen the car and gone down under the ocean, doing who knows what with the car, like sea crimes. And so this affects the clout of the performer, and so he's trying to like hush the rumors up by hiring the party to go find this automobile and prove the owners are safe. And that might entail getting like a cleric who can resurrect all of the drowned people. See, they submerged and they were still perfectly fine. It wasn't a freak accident.
The inside of the car is soaking wet.
I would never promote a car that I could drown in, and he says being a sea elf who could breathe underwater.
This car can cast water breathing when you start to go underwater.
Oh, this I feel like I mentioned this too often with Cyberpunk's Delamain taxi that has a package for mercs who, if they die in the taxi will transport their remains to their designated family.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it just kind of smacks of Cyberpunk a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The sea crime is they go down and they build the city of Rapture.
It's like they go underwater and they find it's Atlantis, and this guy is like chronically running people over underwater and then just driving off. No one knows where he lairs the automobile at.
There's just so many hit and runs. It's like he's playing Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi in a submarine.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Crazy Taxi Underwater Edition. You finished that with, again, about 30 seconds left.
I've been trying to come up with a name for the car, like a pun off of cars. I mean, there's always, since it goes underwater, the fjord.
Fjord.
The Fjord F-150.
You name it the bar, the boat car.
Oh, so the boat
it reminds me of
one last
reminds
idea.
Me of art that I saw of the lesbian flag that had snails on it, and I said snesbians, snail lesbians.
I think
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month. I think one last idea I have for this is that the original model only went on land and water, and then their advertisements said, "We're raising the bar," and now suddenly the new models can fly.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. That essentially took up, like, the last, like, little bit of time you had, so perfect.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take our break, and then we're going to move on to maybe one or a couple more ideas.
Yeah.
See ya for, well, I was gonna say trope time. See ya after the break. All right, welcome back.
And we're back. Sorry.
So, time for lightning round 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh man, was the car a hybrid all along?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh god.
Either that or it uses diesel.
I mean, with an electric car that has a tragedy involving water, that just makes me think of it's a Tesla.
It's a Cybertruck.
It's a Cybertruck. You take it to the car wash and it no longer moves.
And it breaks. Did you see the post that was like someone was they couldn't get to their divorce hearing because their Cybertruck broke?
Yeah, and their wife was divorcing them because they bought a Cybertruck.
You know what? She deserves the world.
She deserves to be paid alimony.
Oh yeah. She deserves the cost of the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
But alright, we are going to do another lightning round, same thing as last time. 3 minutes for the words, and then 3 minutes for the tropes. Would you like heads or tails?
I will do tails. Oh my god. Oh my god, I took a sneak...
What?
So I have the words, and I took a sneak peek at the trope, which might be kind of cheating a little bit, but oh my god. I hope you get it.
Do you want to know? Well, here, let me reflip the coin because it like hit my mic. Oh, my oldie quarter. It's heads. Let's go.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell you the trope.
It's me, baby.
I'm not gonna tell you the trope yet, but
That's fine.
your words are option and notebook.
Alright, option, notebook. Alright, timer starting. I'm immediately thinking wizard. Because with wizard you have a lot of options. And typically, as we talked about before, spell books can be anything. Like, a spell book doesn't have to be like this ornate leather-bound book. It could be just like a regular notebook. It could be, I'm showing the audience, my tiny little shark notebook. Like, it could be anything. So I imagine this is like a teenage wizard, right? Maybe it's a sorcerer that like doesn't think they're a sorcerer, like they don't know about their like family heritage or like the magic that they've inherited, but they've been going to wizard school and they're just like, yeah, I'm a wizard. Like, look at my spell book. It's just in a notebook I bought from the general store, but I'm a student, I don't have money. So I would say let's say, let me look at the wizard subclass because I don't know all the types of. Let's say they are a fuck it. Let's say they're an enchantment magic wizard. Fuck it. Back in the bard magic.
Diet bard.
Yeah, exactly. Just diet bard. Nerdy bard. So like this wizard, quote unquote, they just have this like notebook spell book, and like maybe they haven't like fully decided their school yet, but they've been studying a lot about enchantment and things like that, so their notebook is filled with like options upon options for spells of theirs. And maybe they're getting like all of these like collaboration deals and things like that, or deals to go like study at like more prestigious schools or to work with like these specific mentors and things like that, and they are just like stressing the hell out over all of these options. They're just like, this is too much for me to pick. Like, I can barely decide what I want to eat. these people, like, somebody just needs to pick for me. And, like, that could be what happens, like, a wizard just, like, picks them up as a mentee, or it's even, like, their, like, long-lost family member or something, or, comes in and, like, tells them their heritage, and starts taking them through sorcerer options. And then this person's just like, my life has been a lie, like, I'm suddenly a sorcerer, like, what is happening? And then they, like, might abandon their notebook or something, and then go back to it as, like, a safety thing. Oh, 1 second.
Ooh.
Let's go.
So,
What?
the trope is kind of hilarious when notebook is one of the words.
I'm so ready, but also, like I said, viewers, if I'm talking too fast, slow the video down.
Slow the video down.
I'm not slowing my talking speed. YouTube has video slowing capabilities for a reason.
I think Spotify does it too.
Oh, does it? I don't listen to things on Spotify.
I vaguely remember seeing
But that
it.
was really cool.
I vaguely remember seeing it when I was exploring the options. I'm like, huh, neat. And then I just go back to listening to my music at regular speed.
It is a really good accessibility option.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what's my trope?
Your trope is unstoppable mailman. Fiction has a tendency to treat the mail carrier as an unstoppable force. Come downpour, blizzard, flood, the end of the world as we know it, big friendly dogs, or the apocalypse, your mail will still be delivered. Sometimes it's even exaggerated to the point where the mailman will find you and deliver the letter no matter where you are in the world. They may even be the flying postman.
I love this trope so much.
So for having notebook as the word, I'm like, no way.
I love this so fucking much. Okay, I'm starting the timer. Alright, like I said, wizard who is actually a sorcerer. Maybe they turn their notebook into, like, a sort of, like, spell distribution system. Think of the cat distribution system. A cat will find you, and they will choose you. That is a promise, not a threat. Maybe it is a threat. Either way, maybe, like, this wizard sorcerer, decides that, like, hey, I actually, like, I don't need my spellbook anymore. Like, I've outgrown it. I'm not really adding to it anymore, so to speak. But I want to be able to, like, someone can get use out of it. It's like kids in school, like, one of your friends is going to take a class that you took this last semester, so you give your friend your notes, and being like, hey, this is going to help you, like, hopefully this helps you, things like that. I did that with my medieval history notes for somebody, and I never got them back. But, like, maybe this sorcerer ends up using, like, their magic, like, distant spell, or let's say they have teleport, or misty step or something, or locate object, or whatever the hell, scrying, and they can just find people in need. They can find students in need, or, like, the party they're with, like, knows people that, like, need spells and things like that, and this party just travels around, like, with this sorcerer wizard as just, like, this unstoppable mailman entourage.
It's like the SpongeBob episode where they're delivering the pizza. But
Yeah,
it's,
it's like the guy chasing SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
And then he casts animate objects on the rocks to make it move.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like, that would be fucking great. But I just imagine, like, this sorcerer is just like, I want to share the knowledge that I've, like, been so privileged to get in my time in wizard school, even though I have this innate magical ability that I didn't know about until recently. So they go around and show up random parties around around the world, around the universe, and everyone's like, "How did you get here? How did you get to the fire plane? How did you get to the celestial plane?" And they're just like, "Don't worry about it."
You're the one that sent the SOS call, buddy.
Exactly,
Here's the
you're the
spell
one
you
that was
ordered.
just like, "Hey, I want to learn Fireball, and you don't have Fireball, so here's the spell for Fireball." 1 second left
Ooh,
again, let's go.
Man. So
If there's anything I'm good at, it's following a time limit.
two things. One, the Krusty Krab spellbook is the spellbook for
Is
you
the
and
spellbook
me.
for you and me.
And then
Krusty Krab.
And then number two, I think it's great. I feel like that character and that enterprise could easily fit in, like, it could be the world's explanation for why wizards get 2 free spells per level. Like, this wizard just leveled up and they have
Yeah.
to get these spells delivered to them while they're on the road.
Yeah, and like, this sorcerer is just like, I can sense a wizard just leveled up. I can sense a wizard just gained a new level of understanding. I'm coming.
And then also, that just made me think of 2 other things. One, I'm like, the Skyrim couriers that will always find you no matter what. And then the other one is the Skyrim Shuffle, who just leveled up.
Oh, wait, that just reminds me of... Hang on, I know my time is over. So, in Fallout New Vegas, when you find your first Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle cap, the one with the star on it, this man named Malcolm Holmes will find you no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, to, like, introduce you to the Sunset Sarsaparilla bottle cap quest. Like, I was watching someone talk about, like, why Fallout is their favorite, like, why Fallout New Vegas is one of their favorite games, and they were like, yeah, the reason the angle is so weird in this shot was because I was crouching to get ready for, like, an encounter at night when Malcolm showed up, so he's just, like, standing over me as I'm crouching on the ground. And I'm just like, that is hilarious. Or, like, Malcolm showed up, like, randomly one time and scared the hell out of the players, so the players shot him down. The player was like, oh shit, sorry Malcolm, as he shot him with a shotgun. But yeah, that's the vibe.
Exactly.
I love it. And alright, it's your turn.
Yeah. My words... Oh, I don't know how to play this, so I'm kind of prolonging saying the words.
Say the words.
Mirror and scramble. Man, I'm gonna be scrambling in the next second.
No thoughts. Brain scrambled egg.
Scrambled.
Yeah, scrambled. Chris, I will send you the image I have of that. Please put it over my camera. But alright. I'm starting your timer.
Yeah. So
Your
mirror
timer has started.
Mirror makes me think of, like, I don't know, I kind of want to go, like, not necessarily the cryptid route, but, like, the otherworldly force. Like, oh, maybe, so this is going to be a player character this time. It could really be any class, I think, at least until I get to the trope. I think the PC's entire quest is that they looked in the mirror. Oh no, they've got to be a warlock. They looked in the mirror and something that wasn't them looked back at them, entered their mind, and pretty much gave them amnesia. Their brain is scrambled. They don't know who they are or where or what they were doing before their brain was scrambled. Man, I said it. I didn't mean to say it. But
Let's go!
but they also woke up with this mysterious power, and they don't know if they originally had this power or not. And I think there's also 2 ways to play that, where the first way is that they did have the warlock powers before this event. They did something to upset their pactor. And then the other one is that there was just some otherworldly force stopping them from finishing a specific quest that would be to the detriment of that patron. So one of them is that they already had the power and abused it, and the other one is the patron is abusing their power against that player character to prevent them from like throwing a wrench in the patron's gears. So it's almost like a great old one warlock saw something they shouldn't see. They've gone slightly mad, and perhaps they will go mad when they find out their past and what instigated that incident. I think that's such a cool character concept. I might play that at some point.
Yeah.
How much time do I have left?
You have about 45 seconds.
And they really like scrambled eggs. They will eat no other eggs.
Hell yeah. I also love scrambled eggs.
I'm an over easy kind of guy. I love the runny yolk.
I do too, but that's how I make my fried eggs with runny yolk, and then I have it with rice and soy sauce, and mwah.
Oh man.
But yeah, you had like 30 seconds left again.
Of course. I hear time crunch, and I'm like, okay, I'll just... Because that was my problem with timed writings in high school, too, is that I'd always finish before the timer was stopped, and I probably could have gone through with another paragraph.
See, timed writings for me were always an issue because I can write fast, but it's not legible, and I have tendonitis in both wrists. I'm also just not the best writer when it comes to, like, academic writing. But with presentations, I am always on the mark.
Right.
Like, if you tell me I have a 15-minute presentation, I am going 15 minutes. Like, there was one time I gave a presentation in my, pro seminar class, my first year of grad school, my first semester, and we had, like, a 10-minute presentation time limit. I finished as the timer went off. Like, I said the end of my final word right when the timer went off.
Nice.
And everyone was just like, how did you do that? And I'm just like, I am a musician. I'm good at timing. But yeah, now it's your trope time.
So this one kind of colors the patron. It's called Cold Iron. One of the most commonly seen depleted phlebotinum shells and the traditional bane of the fair folk, or other supernatural creatures such as werewolves and vampires, may also display a weakness to it. On occasion, this may also extend to elves. Iron may be treated as naturally magic disrupting or just poisonous for certain creatures. Sometimes it works by sucking the magic out of the fair folk, similar to the way it sucks the heat out of the body, or it might just be a corrosive substance that damages them on contact, usually accompanied with the screams about how it burns. So,
damn. All right. Hang on, I gotta reset the timer. All right. 3, 2, 1. Timer start.
Sorry, you cut out.
Timer start.
Oh God.
You're good. Here. I'll restart the timer. All right. 3, 2, 1. Begin.
So the patron is a super powerful archfey, and the protagonist was going to slay him with a cold iron sword that he was brandishing. That's for one route. So that's the route of the archfey is punishing the protagonist. They were carrying a cold iron sword, and then they had a chance to look in the mirror, and that's where this fey is most potent, is conveying his presence through mirrors. So the protagonist looked in the mirror. The Fae overloaded his mind, gave him amnesia, wiped especially the memory of that sword that he had, and then came through the mirror, took the sword, and left. And so now this Archfey has a weapon that kills and maims other Fae. So this Archfey is now a tyrant against his people, with absolutely lethal magical force, as well as that sword. And the party member has no idea at first that they were undertaking the quest to defeat this now bolstered tyrant.
Ooh.
I'm
Minute 30.
1 minute 30. I gotta figure out.
Minute 30.
Perhaps going the route of angering the patron is that he had a previous adventuring party, and through happenstance, like the fighter came upon a cold iron weapon, and the patron really didn't like that, and so the warlock went to the mirror to have a conversation with his patron, and the patron demanded the fighter give up that cold iron weapon, and the warlock was unable to convince the fighter, and so the patron took it out on the one he has power over, the warlock, and then without the warlock's spells bolstering the party, pretty much just wiped that party. So the warlock has no idea he has all these friends, and then also that they're dead. And that, I think, leads back into the patron having this super powerful weapon to be used against the Fae. And that, like, however you want to do it, those two paths kind of lead into the same story concept.
Absolutely.
How much time?
You finished that with 7 seconds.
Oh,
left.
Nice.
Closer to the limit. Let's go.
That was so fun.
So that cold iron blade reminds me of, like, in darker Alice in Wonderland stories, it reminds me of the Vorpal blade.
Right.
Which is used to kill the Jabberwock. Which, I mean, it's not iron, it's steel, typically. But it's this ultra powerful sword that, like, the Queen of Hearts is terrified of, or the Red Queen is terrified of, because it can kill her beloved Jabberwock. And Alice is the one that is, like, that slays it or uses it to slay the Jabberwock. So it just reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Which, oh, that'd be so cool. Have you played American McGee's Alice or Alice Madness Returns?
I have not, but I watched. I don't remember which YouTuber was playing it. I watched a couple episodes in the middle of it. I know nothing about it, even despite that.
Alice Madness Returns is one of my favorite games.
I heard it was very good.
It's very, very good. I love it. I have, like, maybe 400 hours in it on my PlayStation 3. And it's not even that long of a game. And I've played it so much. But
maybe this Fae...
Lightning Round was so much fun.
I do want to say, maybe this Fae is like a Red Queen kind of Fae, and so the cold iron weapon is what kills his Jabberwocky, or whatever item, or whatever creature in his corner, and so now he has the weapon.
Yeah.
And will not allow it to slay his ultimate beast.
I love that, yeah. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Lightning Round was so much fun.
Yeah, we need to keep this one on the books so that way we can come back to it, because that was so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like this was a good refresh for getting us both back together for recording. It really got us both, like, back in the rhythm of doing World in a Jar stuff together. So, this was really good. And the viewers at home get to play too.
Yeah. If you guys want to do a second character like what we did, your tropes or your words are would and please. Would is in the material, not would as in I would do that. And then your trope is relationship sabotage.
See, I know please is not the keyword, but my brain immediately said the would you kindly key phrase from BioShock.
Yeah.
But either way,
I think...
definitely play at home, people. This is so much fun.
Yeah. But other than that, I think this is a good place to seal up these jars and put them on the market. If you like the show or need any ideas, you can find us on Twitter at worldsinjars or email us at worldinajar1@gmail.com. Do you have any recommendations before you go, Kyoko?
Watch Naruto or read Naruto. Play American McGee's Alice or Alice Madness Returns. Alice Madness Returns is the sequel to American McGee's Alice. It's very, very fun. And play Fallout New Vegas or watch one of my favorite streamers, YouTubers, Northern Lion, play Fallout New Vegas because he is hilarious and his character Thornforge makes me so happy.
My recommendation really is to do your lightning round characters and then tag us on Twitter or email us what you create with those words.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I am so interested to see how the community makes their own jars. Even though, our jars are patent pending to be sold
Exactly.
to be sold to the highest bidder.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But all right, everyone.
Do something good for yourself. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
This episode was edited by Chris at Chris Rogers VO on Twitter. Go check him out.
We love you, Editor Chris.
We love you, Chris. Ooh, what if Chris does a lightning round?
Thanks. Have a nice day.